If you grew up in Maryland, one of the main field trips you could have taken in middle school was to one of Maryland's main tourist attractions, Baltimore's Inner Harbor. You may have visited the National Aquarium, Ripley's Museum, or this pirate ship docked on the pier. If you were to walk around the Inner Harbor now, you could see the World Trade Center, have a meal at the Hard Rock Cafe, or buy way too much candy at It's Sugar. But one thing you couldn't do then, and still can't do today, is swim in the Inner Harbor. Even dip your feet in. That's because of the pollution. Now, not only would you find it gross, but it's very harmful. I didn't realize this until one day I dropped my phone into the Inner Harbor. Now, it was a complete accident. I had turned around, it slipped from my pocket, and before I could do anything, I heard it dropping down and I heard the bloop bloop water noise that everyone hears. Now, my first reaction was to jump in and go for it. And thank goodness my father knows me well enough that he actually had to grab me to make sure I wasn't going to reach in for my phone, because the water was toxic and it could have hurt me much more than it would hurt my phone sitting down in the bottom. Now, that's just my personal story, but the pollution in the Inner Harbor affects us all. The Inner Harbor is also connected to the Chesapeake Bay. So not only are the trash and toxins being pushed into the Chesapeake Bay, but that's one of our main fishing areas. So every time you eat a blue crab, an oyster, or a mussel, they could be filtering or eating the trash that's being put into the ocean. Not only that, but it's taking away our swimming abilities and our beaches, because now all of this trash and all of this toxic water is being pushed into further areas of Maryland and ruining our chances in the future for swimming and good social beaches. Now, pollution isn't only plastic, like I said. It's not just water bottles and trash bags. It's bacterial and industrial toxins. Some things not even we can change. What I would like to share with you today is the current state of Baltimore's Inner Harbor, what's being done to help the pollution in the Inner Harbor, and what you can do today to help solve the issue of pollution in the Inner Harbor. Now, it has been foul for a very long time. This is a picture from the 1960s. Trash isn't our fault a lot of the time. Sometimes it's rain taking your trash from your trash can and pushing it into a gutter, or sometimes it is our fault with littering. But there's not a lot you can do personally, especially when there are bigger things in the ocean polluting our water. The Baltimore Sun released an article on April of 2019 where the police dive team showed their eyewitness accounts of things that they've seen in the Inner Harbor. Now that could be bodies, weapons, or even these scooters that you can rent. There are bigger pieces of trash on the bottom of the Inner Harbor that you can't even see that is polluting it, such as mattresses, clothes, even cars. Chemicals and toxins in the Inner Harbor have been scientifically studied and linked to causing cancer in humans, especially those that have dived, that have swam, that have drinking or eaten things from that water. It's not safe anymore, and it's affecting us and everyone in Maryland. Baltimore has tried to take steps to help in the pollution, such as the Healthy Harbor Initiative they started in 2009. What they wanted was to make the Inner Harbor not only swimmable, but fishable by 2020. This is one of the most current photos I could get. Would you swim or eat something that came from that water? I don't think so. So, some of the initiatives they have, such as in this photo, you can see Mr. Trash Wheel, also found at mrtrashwheel.com. He was implemented in 2014 to help with this Healthy Harbor initiative. Other initiatives are seen here, such as 2,000 square feet of wetlands built in 2011 and 10,000 baby oysters that were released in 2013. Sorry about that. Not only do we have Mr. Trash Wheel to help collect some of the surface waters, but the wetlands and the oysters help filter toxins that are already implemented. Now, Mr. Trash Wheel and the wetlands and the oysters weren't enough. Now we have Mr. Trash Wheel's girlfriend, Professor Trash Wheel and their son, Captain Trash Wheel, implemented in 2015 and 2016. They're trying to make an effort, but it's not enough. There are some things that you can do today. I know not everybody has a pair of waders and gloves and can go and pick up actual trash, but some things you can do. Blue Water Baltimore has great sources and links, and what you can do is share and repost. With all of these links, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, you have the power to share and repost information. Even if you're not getting into the water, just spreading information is something you can do right now that can help with the pollution in the Inner Harbor. You can donate. And if you can't personally donate, you can share resources and links to other people who can donate. A video of Mr. Trashy Wheel got 1 million views online. 1 million views, more than the population of Baltimore's Inner Harbor, and that being spread and sharing awareness is what's being helped to fund Mr. Trash Wheel and his initiatives. All of us today can do something to help in the safety and beautification of the National Harbor. We all want it to look as pretty as it does in this photo. The pollution in the Inner Harbor still affects you, and you can still do your part for the kids and for the tourists, and especially the animals that do nothing but try to help with the beautification and safety, such as oysters, mussels, fish, and birds. You can do something today to help them tomorrow. Take a step to spread info and resources and spread awareness about the pollution of the Inner Harbor. Thank you.